Oaks Park High School in Essex has an outstanding maths department, according to Ofsted. So what makes it tick? In this last episode of the series, we find out why strong leadership and a broad-based maths curriculum are key factors in that equation. In the maths department, they aim to give all students the chance to get the best grades they can. For those on the booster programme hoping for a C grade in their resits, the department is going the extra mile. Every one of these students has been assigned their own mentor, one member of the maths team who they regularly meet to update on their progress.
These things here that I need to improve on.
Okay.
They're the things there, and I think the next page as well. They're the things I've got to improve on to get my C.
Number topics, particularly percentages.
Yeah, I'm not too strong with percentages, but we've done that in the booster class last night, so I found it a little bit easier now.
What's improved with percentages? How has it become a little bit easier?
The way Miss Jutley showed us how to work it out on a calculator, and without a calculator as well, so I've improved on that.
Really, the job of the mentor is twofold. One is that we turn a long-term target of getting a C in the summer into achievable short-term goals on a week-by-week basis. The students also need to be aware that the role of a mentor is not somebody simply who tells you what to do, but it's someone whose advice you follow.
That's all very well in theory, but as CD programme leader Raj Jutley discovers, it's not working in practice.
Are students attending mentor sessions?
No.
Okay, so that's across the board.
Would it be a better idea if the mentors were their class teachers, or would that overburden?
Yeah, so I thought that would not be a problem, as in having them as their teacher, but still no luck at all. They have not turned up.
When we do this again another time, I think we're going to know that this mentoring has to be a big, big focus, and the students are going to need to be more accountable.
Clearly, with some students, the department's got its work cut out. Not realising that you're doing mock resits on the day of your exam probably isn't helping either.
Well, apparently we have a mock. I've got to get a good grade in it. It's a good job I know now, I guess.
We've got class today. We're going to do more work on the past papers and stuff, I think. And that's it.
So you don't know that you've got a mock exam today?
No.
OK, girls. Come in, please.
If the department are to beat their target of a 70% A star to C pass rate, then half these students must get a C in June. But student Harry is concerned. His group took their mock exams in less than ideal conditions.
We've just done a past paper to see how we're doing. We went to Miss Jutley's class, but it wasn't proper exam conditions, and we was just in a class of year 7s who were giggling and talking and stuff like that, so you couldn't concentrate fully. Not an excuse, but no, I don't think I've done as well as I could have.
Though Harry is still trying despite the inconveniences, for one student it was to prove the final straw.
Dwayne was just argumentative, refused to come in the lesson, said he wasn't sitting with year 7s. You know, the attitude which was the reason why he was taken out of the course in the first place. He was allowed back on and still is giving the same attitude. So I wasn't happy today at all. I was fuming. I think it's got to the point where we are going to call it a day with him.
Though Dwayne still plans to resit his maths GCSE in June, it's now been decided it'll be without the support of the booster programme.
But it is a shame when students like him, who could have done very, very well with now 22 school days to go, are, potentially throwing everything away.
While the borderline CD grade students wait to see how they did in their mocks, the A-level module results have just arrived.
The teachers teach it really well, and when you need help you can go to them and everything, so it's really good. There's a lot of support that's given to you.
Yeah, they're very, they're always willing to help you out, out of school, and I think they're really good, even though they're sometimes kind of strict, but and they really build relationships with the students as well. That's what I like the best, I think.
At Oaks Park, an incredible 30% of students studying maths at GCSE go on to study maths at A-level.
Children want to stay on. They want to do mathematics later in their life if they loved doing mathematics at school. If they love doing it years 7 to 11, they'll choose it at A level. And that's what we want to do as maths teachers.
See if you can stop me at the 7 of spades as I go through.
Stop.
Okay then,
Stop.
a bit slower. There?
Yeah, that's good. No, more.
A bit more.
I think in a lot of schools, you go in and you kind of find out that, oh, it's maths again, you don't want to do maths. But here it's like, you know, you really want to do it, and it's kind of put more into everyday life rather than just adding up numbers.
What drives me is that sense of wonder. It always has. I'm bonkers about maths, just for fun of it. And when I go into the classroom, I try to share that with the students. And it's always been a joy when a student leaves the sixth form and says, you know what, sir, I'm going to be a maths teacher, or I'm going to study maths at university, or I've decided to do maths A-level. And I think that's fantastic, because they've caught that enthusiasm. And whether they've had me or whether they've had one of the other teachers, they've got this enthusiasm for maths, and they're running with it. And that's the biggest joy for me.
Running with it now is Oaks Park maths teacher Mohammed Bashir. In 1994, as a Year 7 student, Mohammed got some disappointing maths results, but his teacher, current boss Stephen Froggatt, refused to give up on him.
Right, Year 7, if you could put your pens down and stop writing, please. I felt very dejected, I felt sad, and my sister, who was a year older than me, she was in the top sets all the time. I thought I'd let the family down. Anyway, but Stephen, for some reason, kept me in the top set, and the next year I got the highest in the class. 10, 15 years later, as a teacher, and Stephen as being my head of department, he's always pushing you for something. He's inspired me as a student and as a colleague now as well.
Stephen Froggatt launched the maths department when the school opened in 2001. By 2004, Stephen was ready to implement some ambitious plans.
By this time, the school was 3 years old. We had Year 10s starting, and I thought this was an opportunity to take the gifted and talented students that we'd identified by this progression, this data logging that we'd done all the way along. I thought you guys could do a GCSE in statistics. I'd like you to compare treatment A with treatment B and tell me which do you think is the more effective treatment, and what evidence is there? We were lucky to have a 100% pass rate, A to Cs, and they were very excited to get these early GCSE results. That year also we had our best ever Key Stage 3 results, and as these results were coming in, we were thinking, crumbs, we're doing it. We're actually getting great results from these students. We're thinking, whoa, it's happening. We are on our way to be outstanding. It was an exciting moment. And treatment B, 86%, 69%. It's that wealth of pathway, that wealth of opportunity that has really made this year special for us. 81 out of 87, what do we get? Let's try it. 81 divided by 87.
If you really want to inspire children in mathematics, then you have to bear in mind where they are. And don't just start at a benchmark for every child in your class or every child in the year group. Think about where each one of them is in their learning and where they should be going next. And Oaks Park do that really well because they come up with these fantastic array of pathways for learning.
But despite the range of curriculum options, there's no pleasing some students. Having got both her statistics and maths GCSE under her belt, Year 11 student Hayden has had enough.
After I did my GCSE in November, we carried on to additional maths. And I sort of started to disagree with my teacher about many things, about why I should be doing additional maths and, you know, how it would benefit me. I disagreed with the fact that I should have to do maths when I wasn't continuing to study maths after my GCSEs. I disagreed that it wouldn't get me anywhere in life. It wasn't getting me an extra GCSE, and I thought that I could be doing something more productive with my time, such as revision or coursework for other subjects.
But the department's just come up with another idea of how to make the most of Hayden's math skills, asking her to mentor the CD borderline students.
I think they've come up with a really good idea of how to help other students, as well as helping me, and it will look quite good on my CV, and it gives me the chance to use my knowledge to help other people.
Well, because you've got to work out what you're finding the square root of. I think that her help is really doing the world of good for me, because I didn't understand half of this stuff before, even though it's so simple.
As fast as one problem's solved, another emerges. Raj has now marked the CD mock exams and she's not happy with the results.
Well, we've got some students on a C, some students on a D grade still, and we've got some students who've slipped down to E's and some students not even scoring enough to actually get a result. It is still disappointing to see the results being so low. Students like Harry, very surprised at what they've got.
Chris's result was more predictable.
Chris failed, he got a U. I wasn't surprised with his result. He just hasn't put in the effort.
Does she think there's any chance the department will hit their target of at least half the students getting a C?
Going by the mock result, no. It all looks dreadful before they actually start putting the work in, and they will put the work in. I have every confidence in all of them to start putting the effort into the subject.
At stake is not only the future of these students, but the department's growing reputation. In 2007, Ofsted arrived for their first dedicated inspection.
We hadn't quite realised how together our planning was by that stage, because it had been developed by various members of the team working together, and none of us had actually bothered to step away from that and look at how detailed and how full our vision was. And it was when we put that with all the extra bits we were doing, like the chess, the maths weeks, the activities, the games and puzzles and all the rest of it, Ofsted said, you know, everything you do now is great, and for that reason we want to say you're an outstanding department. This is hopefully going to make you go, what? What's going on with this?
Stephen Froggatt will soon be leaving the teaching profession. So how will Oaks Park Maths Department cope without him?
I think it's going to leave a massive hole. I do think that we have people in place in the school who could take over and run a maths department, and I think they'll be able to run our maths department and run it very, very well. But a character like Mr. Froggatt, they don't come along too often.
He's scaffolded the department, he's got the structure here, and he's got some excellent members of staff. I think he's done enough for them to carry on without him, but that will be the big test.
I don't think it's all about me in the department, running the department. The department as a whole is what's outstanding. It's not just about the leadership of the department. So I feel I could pass on what I'm doing to the next team leader for mathematics, and that the outstanding department would carry on. It's not about individuals in this game, it's about the team.
I think if you're setting out to create a successful department, if you're at the start of that journey, you need to believe in the staff, you need to trust them, you need to value every single member of your team, and you need to have it within you that you're all doing it because children matter.
Many people have said maths is boring, but teachers, the way they teach it doesn't seem boring. The time's nice, and time seems to be going fast when you're doing maths, and it's really interesting.
Being in this school, I have excelled in maths. In lower school, I wasn't very good at all. But this school has pushed me to my limits, basically, and it was taking me so far.
I like to think that some schools offer that as well, because it just makes us feel so good that we've got such a great maths department at school. And I mean that honestly.